Sega.
So when we're adding a race to the game, the first thing to do obviously is just play that race on the tabletop game and really get to understand its strengths, its weaknesses, what makes them tick, so that we really understand the IP thoroughly and what it is we're going to try and recreate in a Total War game.
The Wood Elves in Warhammer are fairly different from what you'd expect from an Elven race that you might find in other lores and mythology. They're very diverse in that they do have that graceful, that wise look to them, but at the same time they have another side to them, a fairly vicious, fairly violent.
Very, very stealthy, very skilled in with the weapons they use. They're small in number but powerful, and use smart tactics and clever magic to get their way. There are various quite powerful creatures that they can call upon.
So the Dryads in particular, who as a female unit in the tabletop are very slender, they've got fairly feminine faces, and what we wanted to do was break away from that stereotype and really push them, emphasise the monstrous element of their faces, their twisted, tangled nature, change their proportions so they're much chunkier and again much more readable from a distance, which worked really well in our game.
So the Spellslingers presented their own unique challenge. We just had them kind of hover in the air, but that didn't work at all. It looked very stale. We used aerial silk, where dancers hang from silk from the ceiling and they twirl in it, and we use that movement and the fluidity of that to put that back into the Spellslinger as a character, and then suddenly it kind of met everyone's expectations of what she was supposed to move like and how she would push herself around in the space.
So the female units for the Wood Elves are fairly diverse. We've got the Spell Singers, who are more rooted in their traditional magic focused element, and then you've got units such as the Sisters of the Thorn, the War Dancers, and the female Glade Lords, who are just more ferocious or more hands-on.
Where they're elegant and deadly, suddenly you've got this other creature that's humongous and he's made out of a tree, and you just get this amazing kind of creaky wooden look. We kind of broke animation rules a bit because we ended up having this snappy tree-like movement, so we really wanted to make them feel like trees and like branches that had come to life.
Approaching the sounds of the ancient treemen, that was challenging in itself. We knew that we had to do a lot of field recording for it. We wanted to make these ancient treemen really sound like massive trees. We actually cut down real trees to get this massive impact. So when they die in game, we actually hear a tree falling. So we basically had a fun day out in the woods. We wanted to be as close as possible to the source, but also still be safe. Would be a great sound to get crushed under a tree, but probably just a one shot.
A key characteristic of the Wood Elves lore is that they're fierce and proud isolationists. That created some issues when we tried to integrate Wood Elves in the Total Warhammer universe.
So we wanted to create a set of mechanics that encouraged you out into the world. As you go and explore the rest of the world, what you're doing is you're building that inner core and that homeland up. So it will create a very, very different feel to any other race that we've ever done in Total War.
To them, conquering regions is only a means to an end. They just want to get the region in order to get the amber, in order to rejuvenate the Rock of Ages. We felt that this was a way to make the Wood Elves interact with the old world while remaining respectful to their lore.
There's a number of different departments and different people with different ideas as to how we should be recreating the Wood Elves in the game.
When you have a treeman, everyone's got a different opinion on how they should move. The fun part is then finding everyone's ideas and making them come together and making a collaboration.
And generally, as we're developing, we really want individual teams and individual people to be able to express themselves and put their own slant on things. And you see the quality of their work individually and as a team just shines through the end product.
In the end, we're all working towards making the product great and always raising the bar of the quality with every DLC.
There's a number of Warhammer Fantasy fans in the office already and on the team.
We had a competition recently which was take a character from the game and just fight one-on-one, really quick battles. It's enormously good fun. And I managed to beat Durthu with my sneaky shaman riding a Ragnarok, because he was basically better than me on paper, but I turned him into a toad and stomped on him, which was very gratifying.
and it's really helped generate that extra level of passion. Even if you haven't bought the DLC, the world that you're playing in is just getting richer and richer and more diverse. The experience I had playing as Empire now than I did when the game was first released was markedly different. I was surrounded by beastmen, hordes coming in and attacking me. I had Belagar and Skarsnik on my doorstep, and everyone who has bought the tentpole game will see that evolution of the game, the polish, the balance. So we're constantly moving on and making things better.